What's up guys, welcome back here. Today I'm back here with another video. I'm back with the realistic off seasons, as those have been my best viewed videos. So now I'm on to my 10th team, probably the worst team in the West that made the bubble, the Sacramento Kings. So what moves will I make? You'll have to watch to find out. But before we even start the video, you already know it's going to be a banger. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below any new video ideas I should do, and don't forget to sub to the channel. But now let's get started. So first off, you know how we always start with the NBA draft. So the Kings have the 12th pick, plus they add on 3 seconds to it. So with the 12th pick, the first player I'm going to take is Saddiq Bey out of Villanova. So Saddiq Bey is just a versatile wing. He's 6'8", he's pretty built. And he's projected around in this range, to be honest. He's a really good shooter. He's very versatile. He can play point guard, and he's a pretty good defender. He shot 45.1% from threes this year. And he's able to play in the pick and roll and can post up too. He's not the greatest athlete, but his defense has been pretty good. Not as great as it should be with his size and strength, but it's been pretty good. He can shoot. He could really be the 3-and-D wing the Kings could use. Next up, they're going to have a very early second round pick at 35, and with the 35th pick, they should draft Devon Dotson from Kansas. The reason why I think they should draft him is because their backup point guard is Corey Joseph. I don't really think you want him being your backup point guard. He had a really good year, averaging 18.1 points, 4.1 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals at Kansas. He got comparisons to Devontae Graham for being speedy, even though he's kind of undersized. He has the speed, he has the quickness, he has an okay jump shot. It's not the most consistent, but he's pretty athletic for his size. He's an average passer, which I think he can really develop his playmaking game, and I think he could be a really good fit at the backup point guard position. So now they have 2 more seconds. Those picks are going to be pick 43 and pick 52. At 43, I'm going to have them choose Skylar Mays out of LSU. Now, this guy has kind of been a riser, as he went from projected to be an undrafted pick to maybe an early to mid second round pick. Not the Kings taking him, as if you see my other moves later in the video, you'll understand. But I think Skylar Mays could really develop to a backup shooting guard. And he's a decent scorer, he's a decent shooter, he's a pretty good ball handler, and he's a good athlete. He's not the most consistent shooter, and he really can't play the point guard position, but he's great at defense, even though sometimes he can not be in the right position, kind of like LaMelo, but he'll be able to get steals. He can really play that 2 position, and if he develops more consistency, he could really be something special. And finally, I have him taking Caleb Woodson out of Ohio State. He's a big boy. He can score great in the post. He's good as a shooter for his size. He's a great rebounder and is really strong. He's just not the great perimeter defender, and can get a little bit too gambling on defense that gets him into foul trouble. But he could really be a backup big. But they already have a lot of backup bigs, so he probably will be a G League prospect, unless they find a role for him. So the first trade I'm going to do is Buddy Hield becoming the 3rd star that the Nets want. And the trade will be Buddy Hield, Corey Joseph, Nemanja Bjelica, and Justin James in exchange for Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, Garrett Temple, Desmond Musa, and a 2022 top 5 protected first round pick. And you may think it's an overpay, but it's really not. Because Buddy Hield's a great shooter, a great scorer, could easily be a decent 16 to 18 point per game scorer for them. Nemanja Bjelica is added depth as he's a stretch big. You also get Corey Joseph, who could be a backup guard with Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench. And then Justin James you can develop. And you get rid of Taurean Prince's contract in exchange for Corey Joseph, which both are on long-term bad deals. But Taurean Prince makes $1.5 million more. Garrett Temple, if he accepts his team option, he wasn't really going to be a valuable asset to the Nets anyway for their bench. Karis LeVert, I think Buddy Hield's an upgrade from Karis LeVert at this time. Desmond Musa, just a young role player that the Kings could develop. And you gain a top 5 protected first, so if the Nets somehow tank in 2 years, you get your first back, but it's unlikely, so that pick will be late. So I think it'll be fair. And my second trade will be a cab dump of Harrison Barnes. he will be going to the Detroit Pistons along with Skylar Mays and a 2023 first in exchange for Tony Snell. You may be wondering why. Well, Skylar Mays was a high second round pick, so that will bring interest. Plus, you're getting an unprotected first from a tanking team to take on 3 years of Harrison Barnes, who's just not a bad player. He's just getting older and on a long-term deal that the Kings really don't want to pay. Getting an expiring in Tony Snell will help you have cap flexibility for the following year. And the Pistons get someone if they think Blake Griffin, Christian Wood, they can help lead to a playoff squad. Harrison Barnes can easily be a great fielder to help lead your team to the playoffs as well. And with that trade, that also saves them around $10 million, which can help them go sign for free agency, as they'll have around $20 to $25 million in cap. So here are their free agency moves. So first off, Bogdan Bogdanovic. I feel like he could be a really good sixth man for this team, in my opinion. And that if he gets a deal like 4 years, $60 million, you should let him walk. But if he gets around 3 years, $45 million, which I think that's what he'll get, I would match it. Because a sixth man can be worth $15 million in my opinion if you spend your starting five right. And with De'Aaron Fox on a rookie contract, Harrison Barnes only making like 16. Saddiq Bey, Marvin Bagley, and Richaun Holmes on really cheap contracts. It's okay to let a sixth man have a decent amount of money, and I think it'll be worth it to get Bogdan Bogdanovic. And their final signing should be Rondae Hollis-Jefferson to a 1 year, around $6 million in my opinion. He's just a solid guy who could play the 3 or 4. He's not old yet, so he still has a little bit of potential left. Average a solid 7 points and 5 rebounds a game. He's not the greatest shooter, but he's a pretty good defender. And with his defense, he could really help Saddiq Bey improve his defense, which could be a nice thing for the future. And the final signing will be bringing back Harry Giles to a 2-year, $12 million deal with the team option on the second year. Harry Giles has not proven to be healthy yet, so he's not going to get the payday he wants for the potential that he has. But if he proves to be healthy and a skill of a contract, they'll accept his team option, he'll prove himself and then get his payday. And if he doesn't look like that, they'll let him go for $6 million, and he can go try and find a way to be a role player somewhere else. But I think Harry Giles and Marvin Bagley really have a bright future in Sacramento, and that could be really deadly for their rebuild. Well, with that being said, the 2020-2021 Sacramento Kings, their lineup will be looking like point guard De'Aaron Fox, shooting guard Caris LeVert, small forward Saddiq Bey, power forward Marvin Bagley, and at center Richaun Holmes. And with the backup lineup being point guard Devon Dotson, shooting guard Bogdan Bogdanovic, who's going to be the sixth man of the team, small forward Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, power forward Taurean Prince, and center Harry Giles. If this team, with the reserves being Garrett Temple, Dazon Musa, a G League guy most likely, Tony Snell, and Caleb Wesson, definitely a G League guy, it's just going to be mostly about the young guys developing and getting mentored by some of the veterans. But if they somehow sneak into the playoffs, that could really boost their self-esteem and help them push forward for the future. But with that being said, what do you guys think about the Sacramento Kings realistic rebuild? If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like, comment down below any new video ideas I should do. Don't forget to sub to the channel. Peace out, guys.